Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hopefully everybody's having a good week. We're in a different setting here. We're back in Studio A, as I call it, when we first started doing all these.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Wow.
It was, yeah. So we are back in Florida for a few weeks here as we take care of some things prior to us leaving. And then we've got family coming here this week. Actually, this is their place, but we're staying here. They're actually coming in today, So it's going to be a crazy week for us. But yeah, we want to do this one. And as we always say, each week we want to try to keep these short on point so you guys can enjoy your weekend.
Absolutely.
And today we're going to talk about anti-rotational exercises specifically for runners, because it's a big thing. People don't realize is that you are moving, right? You are turning. You need to do these things as we run. And as we get older, we have to make sure, as we talk all the time, we got to be focusing.
Functional strength. You have to, for injury prevention, and just to move better in everyday life. We want our everyday movements, running and outside of running, to be more functional, to be easier, to be just better movement patterns in general. These are key to that. And a lot of people probably have never even heard of them or don't really know anything about them. So we wanted to address that today.
Yep, exactly. So anyway, we'll share our screen here, as we always like to do. Let me get some things set up here. There we go. Okay, so we are going to go into, anti-rotational exercises here for us runners. And of course, we get minimized here. Pat doesn't like that, but that's just the way the software works. So covers up why are we focusing on sit-ups are really not going to help you. They're going to help you maybe get that six-pack, but that's not really what we all need, right?
That's for looks, but not for function.
Exactly.
It's really not. You got to get the core muscles, that core set of muscles that go around our trunk, that are the foundation of every movement that we make.
Yeah, and again, as we say every week, this is not medical advice. This is stuff that we research. We both are passionate about all this stuff, and so we want to research that and share that with you guys, so then you can do your own research or take into consideration and use your own critical thinking skills, right? So we're celebrating the fact that we're willing to learn and grow, which is what we try to do every week, as we're willing to try to get better all the time as best we can. So today we're going to go into, again, anti-rotational exercises. And so again, because we're back here in Florida, we've got this nice little gym here. So we're not a Gold's Gym where we really can't do a whole lot. It's very busy there. And here we were the only people in there yesterday, which is kind of nice. So
nice.
Yeah. So anyway, last week, again, we talked about iron, the importance of it.
I know. A mineral that we don't really think about, but for everything, for functioning, for our immune system, but for our oxygen delivery. That is how we get energy. This is how our muscles get energy. And we know that over 50% of runners are actually deficient in this. And this is one thing, if you correct this deficiency, not only will you'll feel better, but you'll perform better.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've talked about some of the symptoms. If you're feeling fatigued, your hands and feet are cold.
Yeah, there's a lot of symptoms that increased heart rate, shortness of breath, a lot of things that you might not really start to realize, but over time, if you're having these symptoms more often, it's something that you definitely simple blood work can check for that.
Yeah, and again, then consult with your doctor and get some blood work, because the blood will never lie on what's going on. So that's what we always recommend. But that was just a recap of last week. And today, again, we're going to talk about anti-rotational exercises for runners. What are they? The benefits of doing them.
And just some demonstrations. So we'll keep this short, simple, and hopefully give you some valuable information and some exercises that you can add into your routine.
Yeah. So what are they? Exercises that require you to resist a force that is trying to cause your trunk to rotate, right? So
you're pulling, you have a band, you have a cable, or you have your body weight, and you're trying to resist turning, with your torso, with your trunk there. We just go through about 6 exercises that you can easily do that don't take a lot of equipment, that will really help with that functional strength.
Yeah, and why this is important even outside of running is, like Patty was saying a minute ago, it's like this is just everyday life, right? Like when we were in Texas, she was doing a lot of yard work with her sister, getting mulch out of the car. That's that turning motion, right? That stuff, getting groceries, putting it up into the cupboards. Those are basic things that we need.
Things. Or if you trip, not falling. If you trip, can be able to catch yourself. If you slip, all these things, these type of having this core strength, having this, especially against these type of movements that happen in everyday life. We talk about, I know runners only move straight forward, but we need to have practice and strengthen in all planes of direction. That's why you have to think of yourself as an athlete. Athletes train in multiple planes of direction because they move in multiple planes of direction. But you don't do that in running, but you do that in everyday life. So you need to have these strengths. None of us are spring chickens, we're in our 50s. I know a lot of you are in your 60s, 70s. Once we get to the 80s and 90s, we know the big thing that gets people are falls. So having functional core strength is key to mitigating those, being able to survive those, and not have them take you out.
Right. Now, Patty mentioned on her live this week, a lot of people probably didn't see this, but we're here in this community.
Uh-huh.
It's typically a little bit older, people in their probably 60s, 70s,
probably 70s.
in the low 70s, right? However, there's a lot of activity here. There are people here that are playing tennis every day. There's people out there playing tennis right now. There's a little executive golf course here, and they've got this gym that we're at. And so there are people who are active, right? And this is what they're moving. And this is what we want. Amazing. And Patty saw some friends of ours that, we've been gone for 7 months. We weren't sure if they're still around. And this one gentleman happens to be was close to her dad's age, and he is still in the gym.
He's in the gym doing his exercises. He's on that elliptical. He's on the bike. I mean, he is a rock star. So still, like I said, he's going to be 97, he said, in July. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and so you guys are part of this group. We know that you're more active-minded, right?
I know you guys are killing it. You guys are winning your age group. You're still running. You're still doing races. I mean that is what it's all about. But to be able to keep doing that, this is the other part of the equation that you just have to do.
Right, and that's why we want to share this, but we want to try to motivate you guys as well in any way that we can. This is one of the reasons we do this. Again, so the benefits of doing this are going to be a stronger, stable base. And Patty just mentioned injury prevention is what we try to preach all the time. We're not perfect, but we're working on this. We're conscious of it so we can become stronger and try to prevent injury. And if we did, like we had some minor injuries recently, the two of us, and we're just trying to work through those, right?
I did not listen to what I was saying. I did it in running, but too much yard work, too much lifting, too much, lifting in the gym. It was all just too much. Anytime we get injured, it's our tissues can't handle it, or we don't have the strength, or we have improper movement patterns, or we have imbalances. These are all things that happen. That's why we get injured. It doesn't happen just by accident,
Yeah.
So these exercises actually, not only it helps your coordination, it helps those if you have improper movement patterns and imbalances. This can help strengthen those. And it can absolutely translate into running. We move forward. You have a slight rotation in your hips because you're moving one leg forward. But the elites, the people that are paid to actually do this, the least amount, healthy runners, the least amount of movement that you have when you do that, that rotation is what's going to keep you healthy. It's 100% decrease the fatigue, make you more efficient. We're always talking about being more efficient as a running. Running's hard. You don't want to make it harder than what it actually is. So the more efficient you can be, minimizing this movement. And if you don't have the functional strength to do that, you might be able to start out that way, but watch the end of a marathon. You see people, their form starts to collapse. Their arms start to cross over. They're starting to cross over because they don't have that strength and their core to keep them from rotating like this. They're trying everything. They don't have that, when you don't have enough strength, you recruit other muscles and other areas to do that. So if you're running and your lower back is killing you afterwards, or your shoulders are killing you, that means there's other movement, or there's other muscles that are working that are not supposed to be. and they're hurting because that's not their job to be doing this. You need that core is what stabilizes you, keeps those hips stable, keep them, from rotating. So these are just some simple things that will absolutely translate into more efficiency, which we want, plus have all the other benefits of daily function of movement.
Yeah, exactly. Improve your ability to accelerate, decelerate, which you need to running if you're going to go around people, right? Mm-hmm. And I love what we just said about improve your balance and coordinate agility, which again, as we age, is so critical. Is so critical.
Absolutely.
So we're going to show you guys some exercises here that we're now doing. And again, we're at a little gym here. So here's what's called an
simple bands.
Anti-rotational band squat. Very simple. You got a band. You can tie that to anything, such as like here we've got, there's a pole there that people are using for their strength training and just going down and up. Very simple.
In your hand. The key is keeping it out and keeping this. It's a little harder than it looks, but the normal tendency is going to want to pull you. So that's why it's an anti-rotational. You are keeping your hands straight forward. You're keeping that while you're doing that movement. So you're not only doing the squat, you're also training your core, those core muscles or whatever, to keep you straight.
Yeah.
So
that band is going to cause that resistance, as we mentioned a second ago.
Yeah.
So that's one that we do.
Easy one, minimal equipment.
Yeah.
You can do this in your home.
Any kind of bands that we'd happen to use a gym here, you can tie that to anything. Okay, so this one is a lot harder than it looks right here. I got to tell you.
To really stabilize, you have to really concentrate and do that. But this is one of those things that takes full body concentration. It has that trunk. You have to keep that from, because your natural thing is going to want to go like that and to want to go like that. So these are all just movements that keep that trunk stable
and
keep
it
it from rotating.
A lightweight. I think Patty has 5 or 6 pounds right there, just moving it back and forth. Or is it 10? Okay, sorry. Again, it is. It is a lot harder than you realize.
People do it with different
variety of things, right?
You can do it with kettlebells, whatever it is, some weighted object.
Something weighted. Just be creative if you don't have this at home right there.
Something else at home you can use.
Yeah. So here is another good one called the Anti-Rotational Renegade.
It's just a renegade row, but it is an anti-rotational movement. If you've ever done these, it's really hard to. You're going to have a little bit of movement because you're moving your arms, but you don't want to have that. Like I said, the natural thing is to move with the motion. So keeping hips stable, that strengthens the core. It's is another one of those full body type thing that also gets the glutes, gets the back, gets everything. All these muscles that we're talking about. So it's great for runners for that overall strength.
Yeah, notice how Penny's feet are a little bit wider than shoulder length, right? And again, that's helping her core and the glutes right there, in addition to staying as focused as she can and her balance. So now we have rotational shoulder taps, which is another one that is, again, not as easy as it looks, right?
Yeah, and these are just shoulder taps, but it's another anti-rotational movement that you can do that, like I said, your natural incline is to rotate. So you're just keeping your trunk from rotating. Right.
And again, look at her feet again. They're wider than her shoulders there. So that's going to help that core and the glutes again. And then by doing that, it's helping her upper body and then her overall core. Again, you can do this at home. It doesn't require any type of equipment at that point. A lot harder than you realize. That's another one. Now, this one, if you got a gym, is a nice thing to have, right? These are the things that you can use with a band. We happen to be at a machine here, but you can use it with a band as well.
And this is the one that doesn't seem like it's a lot, but you have a lot of resistance from the side that is wanting to make you go like that. So keeping that, we need to work on our upper body strength. Just because we're runners, we still use our upper body. I know it's all about our legs, our glutes and everything, but you still need strong upper body. And this is another good one for that.
Right. And it's called the Palloff press. So that's another simple one that we will do right there. So then we'll go to, let's see, the next one here. Last one, I think, right now. So this is another, again, these ones seem so easy, but they're not that easy, right? This is the band chop, right? You've heard of
And
the
you
wood
see-
shop,
The
but
wood
this is
shop.
with a
Now
band.
that the wood shop you would normally do that
full
is a,
rotation.
is a full rotation. So that's
Yeah.
a different thing. This one is you can do it kneeling. If you can't do it kneeling, you can do it standing with a band like that. But the key is to keep hips forward, straight, while resisting it to turn. So you're just moving your arms to do that. So this is another thing. The obliques, it makes you tighten that corset that you have around that transverse abdominis, those really deep core muscles that attach to our spine, that keep us straight, that keep us from rotating, that keep us, when we're going forward, when we're running, being able to minimize that amount of rotation that we have, save energy. We always want to save energy because the more efficient we are, the less energy we have to use, the further we can go and the easier we can go. So, and like I said, this all translates into everyday movements, picking something up out of a tall cabinet, being able to lift something, being able to put something down into, somewhere, like I said, lifting out of the car, lifting bags of mulch, dragging big. It's always easy to get the bigger pounds of dirt because you use a lot of it in the potting soil, but moving around that awkward, uneven, amount of heavy weight like that, you need. I mean, that's how we pull something. That's how we strain something. If, in our back, we don't have the strength all around, all around our trunk and our core.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a classic one for everyday life right here.
Absolutely.
So really try to focus on this one. So again, that was it in terms of just some 6 exercises that we do.
Simple things, rotate them in as you can. They don't take a lot of, you don't have to do all of them. Do ideally the ones that are the hardest for you are the ones that you should be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you have a couple that seem really easy, move on to ones that are actually really hard to do that you don't like. Those are the ones that are going to give you the best benefit.
Yeah. So because we've got family coming here to town, again, this is their place. We're visiting here, but they're coming in a little bit later.
We got tons of stuff to do, and there's a lot. There's going to be a tornado coming through here.
Yeah, with little kids, and
it's going to be a lot of
just
fun,
a lot of people here, so it'll be a lot of fun. So we want you guys to go enjoy your Saturday. We're short to the point here. Actually, this one less than 20 minutes, which is
wow,
awesome.
So rare.
It's a rarity, I know, because we tend to be a little bit long-winded sometimes. But we want you guys to enjoy your weekend. You deserve it.
So keep crushing it, guys. You guys are doing absolutely amazing. Keep sharing those pictures. We love seeing those. And we all want to encourage each other. Anyone that's doing races, anyone that's doing, like I said, you guys are winning your age groups. That is awesome.
That's amazing. It's incredible. And it inspires us, right? It really does.
Absolutely.
So with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and end today's session. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and message the page or comment below. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And anything else? That's it, really.
Happy Saturday. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next week.
All right.